Hello learners, NIOS welcomes you to Painting Subject video series. This is lesson number 18, Composition, part 2. Now we learn about still life composition. Subject of a still life is anything that does not move. So the objects are inanimate. Still life artwork features objects of daily use. Objects can be natural, for example, flowers, fruits, vegetables, etc. Or they could also be manufactured. For example, books, bottle, crockery, etc. can also be used, these being manufactured items, but these objects can be included in a still life pottery. One of the most famous still life artists is Paul Cézanne. Most of his paintings are still life paintings. Still life, apples, peaches, pears and grapes. This is the title. The medium is oil on canvas. Period is 1879 to 1880. Size of this painting 38.5 centimeters into 46.5 centimeters. Artist Paul Cézanne. Collection the Bernhard Kohler at Berlin. Still life description. Paul Cézanne's still life look both traditional and modern. The objects look really identifiable, that is, they are very realistically depicted. The apple, the pear, the grapes are easily identifiable. The fruit plate is placed on a yellow wooden plank. The blue border of the plate gives more resonance to the green, yellow and orange hues. The leaves on the wallpaper, add an element of artistic play. Let us now learn about the landscape composition. Landscape is any art in which more emphasis is given to nature and its beauty, which is the natural landscape or a natural scenery. So, these could be anything out of the natural scenery, could be seas, mountains, any expanse which is visible in one view. A good landscape painting should have the following items. First would be the subject, that is what the artist is trying to depict, the message. If it is a cottage in the woods, so the trees, the sea behind or near the cottage. Then the composition, how are the items linked to each other, where are they placed, how are they placed. Then the color scheming, if there is the sky, they have to ensure the hues of the blue sky. Then harmony, a kind of unity between all the elements. A cottage in the woods will not have an airplane, so that kind of understanding. Then rhythm, a movement in the painting. For example, trees, they tend to have rhythm, the plants, the greenery. Then the balance, that is the size, the shape, the length, width, and these are the things which a good landscape painting must have. Some of the famous landscape artists are Thomas Cole, Claude, J.M.W. Turner, John Constable, Claude Lorraine, Gilbert Gould, and M.R. Acharekar are the famous landscape artists. Landscape called cottage in the woods. The medium is oil on board. The period of this painting is 1886, that is 1886. Size 5.5 inches into 9.5 inches. The artist is Gilbert Gould, one of the famous landscape artists, and the collection is private. Cottage in the woods description. Gilbert Gould was born in 1855 in New Jersey, America. He then studied at the National Academy of Design in New York. Gilbert inherited his uncle's farm at Tennessee. in the year 1881, and he frequently visited that farm. The subject of this painting are two figures, towering trees, a small cottage in the background, and a light blue sky. Gilbert Gall ensured the illusion of space on a two-dimensional surface by creating an aerial perspective papers or any form of paper is only two-dimensional, that is the length and the width, but space, that is three-dimensional, being able to see the background, the house in the background, the sky, the trees, has been created very skillfully. Let us now learn about illustration. Illustration is a visual representation used to make a subject more pleasing or easier to understand. For example, we are talking a lot about global warming and the importance of plants and trees. So, how to protect the greenery and the environment? Illustrators would use their creative ideas to depict or communicate these ideas, facts. So, in an illustration, if there is a person who is trying to plant a tree, we would automatically be able to feel the emotion that people are cutting trees, they are not careful for nature, and these ideas persuade the audience. Illustrations can be realistic, can be simplified, can be abstract, or could be caricatures. Caricatures would be cartoonish, where for example, the face is bigger, the nose, the ears, the mouth, maybe the lips are hanging out, where the body would be very small. Earlier, illustrations were done on paper using pencil, watercolor, charcoal, acrylic, etc. Now, with the use of modern softwares, illustrations are done digitally. So, you have Adobe Illustration, you have Photoshop, you have so many softwares which now have changed the paradigm. We do not use paper anymore, but we use digital platforms. The illustration is Akbar crossing the Ganges. This illustration is from the Akbarnama, which is the painted manuscript in honor of Emperor Akbar. The medium is opaque watercolor and gold on paper. The period of this painting is 1567. The size is 5.5 inches into 9.5 inches, and this painting is at the Victoria and Albert Museum, London. Akbar crossing the Ganges description. This illustration is from Akbarnama, the painted manuscript in honor of Emperor Akbar. The Mughal Emperor Akbar is chasing rebels and Akbar's own elephant is Udiya. You see, the royal elephant and the emperor are depicted larger than the rest of the group. They are in the middle of the river and the emphasis is on the king's elephant, that is the royal elephant. Both the emperor and the elephant are the emphasis, the points of emphasis in this painting. The emperor is wearing yellow robes, a green sash and a brown turban. The heads of all the elephants are painted in detail. Though the royal elephant and the emperor are made much larger due to the emphasis, but the other heads of the elephants are also painted and they look in a very happier mood, enjoying the waves. Description of abstract composition. Art which alters form, color, shape, etc. is called abstract art. For example, if the shape of the tree is made very fluidic, or the forms or the shape of things which are usually, for example, a house, it is turned. These kind of things, when you play with the form, is called abstract art. Any composition which has such arrangement of abstract elements is called abstract composition. An abstraction can be slight or partial or total. For example, slight abstraction is something where you can identify. Partial or total kind of abstraction is something where the entire form or the color, the elements have been totally changed beyond recognition. Improvisation. Improvisation basically means change, modification or addition of own ideas with the original idea. That is the title of this painting, improvisation. The medium is oil on canvas. The period is 1567. The size is 110 centimeter into 110 centimeter. The artist is Vasily Kandinsky. The collection where this painting is displayed is the Munich Gallery in Lenbach, Germany. Improvisation, description. Russian painter Vasily Kandinsky was a master of modern art and abstract painting. He would take the elements and then modify it, improvise to bring out an abstract composition. Vasily Kandinsky painted 35 improvisations. The artist believed that all artists should follow inner voice and not the external model. So, for example, the church which he has painted, the rider which he has painted in his artwork has been modified and improvised. That is, the person is listening or following his inner voice. The subjects or the dominating elements of this painting are the two steep mountains, a rider on a white horse, and church on the top of the other mountain. These are the two important elements, dominating elements in this painting. So, you have to observe and you would be able to find the rider and the church on top of the two mountains. The colors used, red, blue, yellow, green, white, black, mauve and grey, have been used liberally, and the effect which it gives is a kind of a rainbow effect. I hope you enjoyed watching part 2 of the lesson. If you have any queries, please email us at signlanguage@nios.ac.in. For more information, you may visit our website www.nios.ac.in. Thank you.